Ever get that feeling, like when you have to toss out clothes that are still perfectly good, or like the nagging thought about what happens to those EV batteries once they've run their course? It's like we keep hitting these sustainability walls, and it can be kind of overwhelming, Like, how much impact can we actually have as individuals?
Right.
Well, get ready, because in this deep dive, we're checking out VeChain's bold plan to tackle these huge challenges head on. They're talking about building a blockchain biosphere for sustainability, where our individual actions could actually fuel massive change. It's pretty mind-blowing stuff.
What's really interesting is how VeChain's whole approach to blockchain has evolved. We're diving into their Whitepaper 3.0. It's a huge leap from their initial focus on just the tech stuff
Yeah.
from Whitepaper 1.0.
Yeah. I mean, they've already been making a splash with those partnerships, like the one with Walmart China. They're using blockchain to track food products there. And then there's My Story, where you can trace like the whole journey of a product, right? But this blockchain biosphere, this feels like they're playing on a whole other level now.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like
Yeah.
global awareness about sustainability is growing,
Yeah.
right? And governments, they're definitely putting more pressure on businesses to step up. So this creates the perfect opening for something like blockchain to really shine. Its transparency and security are key for building trust, which is, well, crucial when you're dealing with these big global issues.
Okay, so let's break down this whole biosphere concept. What they're talking about is building a network, almost like a power grid. But instead of electricity, it connects all these different solutions for specific sustainability problems. These interconnected solutions, or what VeChain calls ecosystems, are designed to work together.
Precisely. And for these ecosystems to work, they need, a strong foundation. That's where VechainThor comes in their own energy efficient blockchain. It's like the bedrock for everything else, ensuring a secure and sustainable platform. But it's bigger than just the tech.
It's got to be accessible for everyone, right? I mean, this isn't just for the tech geniuses out there. VeChain's vision relies on everyone, from huge companies down to everyday people like us, to be able to participate.
Exactly. That's where these different ecosystems come in. The white paper has some really cool examples to show this. Take the secondhand fashion market, for instance. It's got issues, right? Counterfeit goods, difficulty knowing the history of a used item, you name it. So, VeChain's solution, a digital passport for every single piece of clothing. This would verify authenticity and make reselling like super easy.
So no more guessing if that designer jacket you found online is the real deal. Interesting. What's the catch?
Well, imagine this. You could instantly see if that jacket's authentic, how many times it's been resold, even its entire environmental impact from the moment it was made. It's not just about individual gain either. It solves some big problems in the fashion industry like counterfeiting and textile waste.
It's like giving your clothes a whole second life, which, let's be honest, most of our wardrobes could definitely use. But it's bigger than just fashion, right? VeChain seems to be thinking about other industries too.
Absolutely. They're also tackling EV battery management. As electric vehicles become more common, there are growing concerns about the environmental impact of those batteries. VinChain's proposal, digital passports for EV batteries too.
Wait, so we could actually track where each battery comes from, how it's been used, and where it goes even after the car's done.
That's the idea. This kind of transparency could completely change the battery life cycle, moving from a linear take, make, dispose model to a circular economy where we're reusing and recycling these valuable resources, minimizing waste, and reducing environmental damage.
That's a powerful example of how this tech could build a more sustainable future.
Right. And it gets even more interesting. They talk about supply chain at the edge, too, combining 3D printing with blockchain technology.
Okay, and now that sounds cool.
Imagine needing a replacement part, let's say for your fridge, and instead of it being shipped from across the world, it's 3D printed on demand, locally, using a secure blockchain blueprint.
Wow, no more waiting weeks for a tiny part, and a much smaller carbon footprint too. I like it. Okay, so how does Veshin see this blockchain biosphere working for everyday people like us? Where do we fit in?
That's where things get really innovative. VeChain wants to empower individuals to actually participate in creating a more sustainable future. And they believe Web3 technologies, specifically DAOs, are the key.
DAOs. Okay, gotta admit, that's one of those terms that always throws me off a bit. Can you break that down?
Sure, think of a DAO like a digital community, but members have real decision-making power. In this case, these communities would focus on sustainability goals. So instead of corporations calling all the shots, individuals that say passionate about reducing plastic, they could join a DAO dedicated to that. propose ideas, vote on initiatives, have a real impact on solutions.
So it's like crowdfunding meets, I don't know, community organizing, but with the security and transparency of blockchain built in.
Exactly. Every transaction, every decision within the DAO is recorded on the blockchain, fully transparent and accountable. So individuals can directly contribute to a more sustainable future and hold each other accountable along the way.
This is all sounding incredibly promising, but how will VeChain actually get people excited about, joining these DAOs, contributing to this blockchain biosphere? Because let's be real, blockchain can seem a little intimidating.
True. And VeChain gets that. They're exploring ways to make the whole experience more engaging, more rewarding for everyday users. Things like gamification and incentives.
Gamification. Now you're speaking my language. Tell me more.
Well, what if you got rewarded for making sustainable choices? Earning points, badges, maybe even unlocking special perks for participating in the ecosystems. Something as simple as choosing the product with a lower carbon footprint and you get rewarded.
So making everyday actions like fun and rewarding, encouraging people to make better choices for themselves and the planet.
Exactly. VeChain even talks about digital NFTs, digital tokens that can unlock tangible rewards. Imagine getting discounts at your favorite sustainable brands or access to exclusive events, all because you're participating in building this blockchain biosphere, bridging the gap between digital and physical, making sustainability more tangible.
Now that's motivating. It's tapping into that human desire for, I don't know, recognition and reward to drive positive change.
Okay, but let's be real. Is VeChain actually on track to achieve this whole blockchain biosphere vision? I mean, it's a huge undertaking. What kind of hurdles might they face?
You're right, it's ambitious and there will be challenges. One of the biggest is getting those major players in different industries on board, convincing those big companies in fashion, automotive, energy to buy into the vision and participate in building these ecosystems. Right, they need those big names to really give the concept legitimacy, to show the world this isn't just some, far-fetched idea, but something that can actually work.
Exactly. And it's not just about credibility. These large companies, they bring resources, they have the infrastructure. Building these ecosystems will take significant investment, both financially and technologically. Getting those key partners is crucial for VeChain's success.
So getting these big companies on board is super important for VeChain, but what about the tech itself? Are there, limits to what blockchain can realistically do here?
That's the million-dollar question, right? Blockchain's a powerful tool, sure, but it's not magic. One of the biggest hurdles for VeChain is going to be interoperability. These ecosystems, they can't be isolated. They need to communicate, share data seamlessly. Achieving that level of interconnection, that's going to take some serious innovation.
Right. It's like they need to create a universal language for these systems to talk to each other. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of separate pieces, each doing their own thing.
Exactly. And then there's the human factor. We talked about DAOs empowering individuals.
Yeah.
But that comes with, well, complexities. VeChain needs to figure out how to make sure these DAOs are governed fairly and transparently.
It's about finding that balance, right?
Yeah.
Giving people power, but making sure it's used responsibly. And let's face it, people can be unpredictable.
Absolutely. But I do think VeChain's on the right track. They're aware of these potential problems and actively trying to find solutions, which is important for building a system that's fair and sustainable in the long run.
You know what's so cool about all this? It's not just about the technology itself. It's about using that tech to create a world that's more sustainable and equitable. If VeChain can actually pull this off, it could totally change how we deal with these global challenges.
I totally agree. It's about using technology and collective action to build a better future for everyone. But let's bring it back to our listeners for a sec. What does VeChain's vision actually mean for everyday people like us? Why should we care?
Yeah, what's in it for us?
Well, on a practical level, imagine having more control over your own data, knowing exactly where the things you buy come from, having more of a say in shaping a sustainable future. Picture being able to track your food from farm to table, knowing how it was produced, its environmental impact, or easily reselling your clothes, knowing they're going to a good home, reducing waste, minimizing your footprint.
Those are some pretty tangible benefits. But it's bigger than just convenience, right? It's about feeling empowered, knowing our actions, even the small ones, can contribute to something bigger.
Exactly. It's about going from passive consumers to active participants in building a better world. And in a world where these global problems can feel overwhelming, VeChain's vision offers hope, a potential roadmap to a brighter future.
A future where tech empowers us, where communities come together to make real change, and where sustainability is just part of our everyday lives. VeChain's vision is ambitious, no question, but it's also incredibly inspiring. They've given us a lot to think about, that's for sure. And I'm excited to see where it all goes from here.